All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're digging into a new crypto platform called Exchange On. And listen, they're making some really bold claims in their own documents about completely changing the game for traders. So we're going to walk through their entire pitch, from the AI they're talking about to the actual business model behind it all.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the single biggest promise they make. Go long or short without the fear of liquidation. I mean, wow. In the crypto world, that's a massive claim. So the question we all have is, how in the world do they say they can pull that off?
Well, to even begin to understand that claim, you've got to look at what they say is the core of their entire system. Exchange On is positioning itself as the world's first centralized exchange that's built completely around one idea: arbitrage trading. They're saying this is the foundation for everything else.
So what's the big idea here? It really boils down to this: a system where you can supposedly buy crypto and bam, you're instantly in profit. The whole mechanism they're proposing is based on taking advantage of tiny little price differences across the market.
And that brings us right to the financial concept that's at the heart of their whole platform: arbitrage. Now, arbitrage itself is nothing new, right? But Exchange On's big claim is that they've figured out a new and much better way to do it.
So in their own documents, they define arbitrage in the classic way. You're basically buying a crypto on one exchange and selling it for a little bit more on another to pocket the difference. The keywords here, though, are small and fleeting. These opportunities can literally vanish in milliseconds, and that's the real challenge.
And here's a super simple way to picture how that works. Just imagine a coin is selling for, say, $105.67 on exchange A. But at that exact same moment, it's trading for $106.53 over on exchange B. The goal of arbitrage is to buy it on A, sell it on B, and instantly capture that price difference.
Right, so here's the kicker. Trying to do this manually is, well, it's pretty much impossible. The crucial point is how all of this is supposed to happen automatically. And that brings us to the tech that Exchange On says is the engine behind their entire platform.
According to their docs, all this arbitrage trading is powered by an AI bot they named Cranty. And the name itself, which means revolution, yeah, that tells you they've got some pretty high ambitions for what this tech is supposed to do.
So they say Cranty's big advantage is just its sheer scale. It all starts by scanning prices across more than 35 different crypto exchanges,
And from there, it's analyzing over 1,000 different market pairs on those exchanges.
And it's doing all of this for more than 2,000 different cryptocurrencies. So the idea they're presenting is that by just churning through this massive amount of data, the AI can find those little profit opportunities that a human trader would never, ever be able to catch.
Okay, but here's where things get really interesting. The system they describe in their documents isn't just about individual trading. A huge part of their pitch is dedicated to what they call the Cranty Community Program, or KCP. And this is where the focus really shifts from pure tech to network growth.
So, what is this program? At its core, it's a multi-level referral system that's built around the profits from the AI's trading. Let's really unpack how the structure is laid out in their documents.
All right, this table gives us a pretty good snapshot of how it's structured. Basically, for every 2 subscribers you personally bring in, you unlock another reward tier. And each tier pays you 2.5% of a certain income pool. You can see there are 10 tiers in total, but look, as you get to those higher tiers, you're also required to have a minimum subscription of your own.
So you might be asking, where does that reward money even come from? Well, according to the documents, it's a direct split of a user's profits. The subscriber, the person actually doing the trading, keeps 75% of their daily arbitrage profit. The other 25%, that gets paid out to their referrer and up through the network. And to make this super concrete, they give an example. Let's say you have 100 people in one of your tiers, and together they generate $100 in total profit for the day. Your cut from just that one tier would be $2.50. Now imagine that same logic applied across every single tier you've managed to unlock.
Okay, so we've talked about the big promises and the referral program, but what about the actual day-to-day rules of using the platform? The material lays out a pretty specific set of rules for everybody.
So the documents lay out some really key operational details. First off, subscription packages have profit caps, which means they do expire. You can have multiple packages active at once. There are also clear limits on withdrawals, only one per day, and they'll charge you a small $1 fee on smaller amounts.
And finally, and this is a big one, they say that completing a KYC, that's a Know Your Customer process, is mandatory if you want to access 100% of your funds.
And believe it or not, the business model goes even further than just individual users and their referrals. The documents also pitch what they call a white label solution. This basically lets other people license the core technology to launch their own branded arbitrage exchange. It's kind of like a franchise model.
So, after digging through all these documents, we're left with this central question. On one hand, you have this incredibly bold promise of risk-free trading, all supposedly powered by this revolutionary arbitrage AI. But on the other hand, you have this very detailed, multi-tiered community program where a huge chunk, 25% of profits, is being funneled into referral income. The question the material itself really leaves you with is this a genuine revolution in trading technology, or is it a business built on referrals? That's the question on the table.